Hi guys, happy Valentine's Day. My name is Becca and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another weekly reading update for February. Though this is the first one for February. Just remembered. I didn't film one last week because I was really sick. What else is new? So here we are, and I've talked about the last couple of weeks of what I've been reading, which, spoiler alert, not much for my TBR. Mostly I've just been reading what I've been wanting to. I've just kind of been mood reading. So I have read a little bit for my TBR, some books, but not a whole lot. And I have 2 more weeks. I think I'll be okay, but we'll see how this goes. Okay, so also, as you can probably tell, I got new glasses. My old glasses were really old. I've had them for about 6 or 7 years. And yeah, I needed new ones badly. My prescription was completely out of date, and I was getting, like, I could see, but I could tell, like, things weren't as clear as they could have been. So I figured I needed new glasses. We had the money, so might as well just go for it. There is a lot of a glare, but I do feel like I can see better out of these. They are a little bit bigger. I didn't like the smaller lens. I liked to be actually able to see my eyes. And also, I don't know if you could tell, I didn't start off the video with this, which I always do. I think I always end up, like having to push my glasses up. And I don't have to. Like, they fit my face good, and they just stay. Like, the only reason I would do this or anything like that is because I just got them. So they are kind of tight, but they're loosening up, so it'll be fine. So there's that. But yeah, I'm really happy with these. I have a pair of sunglasses now, and I haven't had a pair of sunglasses in about 6 or 7 years, which has been a thing. And I decided, because I only ever had one pair of glasses for 6 years, and they broke the day I made the appointment for these. I literally was just like, it's time. I want to make an appointment to get new glasses. I made that appointment, and then that night, my glasses broke. It happens. This is a thing that happens to me every time, but it's fine. So I figured I want to get backup pairs just in case anything happens. You never know. The reason I didn't have sunglasses for about 6 or 7 years is because my brother broke them. So, yeah. I figured I should really, really invest in backup pairs. So, I did. Maybe I'll switch it up every now and then. Now that I have like 3 regular glasses and a pair of sunglasses, I don't have to just wear these, Like, I can wear the other couple of pairs I got. Though I just ordered those, so those will be coming in a couple of weeks. So, yeah. Not anytime soon, but by the end of the month, I'll definitely have those. So, let's talk about the reading I've read the books I've read for the past 2 weeks. The first 2 books, I felt like I really needed to read these because I received them from NetGalley, and they were both backlist. So the first one was A Husband for Santa by Doreen Herron, and this came out in December. I actually requested this and then was accepted for it the day it came out. So I wasn't about to like immediately go and read it just because I wasn't in the mood for it. Though this is a really Christmas read and this came out around Christmas, so I probably should have just read it around then. But I just wasn't in the mood, and I had a whole lot of more books to read, so I was just like, not yet. So I ended up doing it like the first day of February. I was like, I'm going to start February off good, and I'm just going to read my e-arcs. So I did. I read this one, and this one we follow Turk, who is the son of Santa, or Father Christmas. And he is about to take over for his father because his father's about to retire. But his father feels that Turk needs to find a partner, a wife or a husband, before he could take over. The thing is that Turk doesn't want a partner. He would rather just do it alone. Father won't accept that, and so Turk ends up going to the human world to get more acquainted with the humans, and he ends up meeting Simeon. Is it Sim? Sim is, I think, his nickname. And Sim is, what was it? He's studying Christmas. I think he has like a whole dissertation or something on Christmas. I don't really know what that's about. I didn't really graduate college. So there's that. So he's studying Christmas. They end up meeting like right away. They're going to Turk's room to talk, and then boom, it's like they're kissing. Turk's already trying to take off this guy's shirt. It's a whole thing. So, okay. This book is really short. It's really short and it's a holiday romance, and all I really expected from it was something quirky and fun and cute and gay, and I got that, I guess, for the most part, but the romance was so rushed, which I understand because the book is really short. So I get that for the most part, but I felt it was too rushed. The characters weren't exactly likable. I can say there was one scene that just completely upset me. I was not here for that whatsoever. It's when Turk is looking at his phone and looking up Sim, because obviously his father's Santa, and he can look through the naughty or nice list or whatever and look up to see, like, the whole, Sim's life or whatever. And, Sim sees him on his phone, sees what the phone looks like, and is like, ooh, nice phone. This is really nice. Just takes it from his hand and just starts looking at it. Nice phone, where'd you get it? Like, ooh, this is really nice. And then, actually, like, looks at what Turk is looking at, and it's like, why are you looking me up? And I'm just like, one, I get Turk should not have been looking up Sim, like, he could have just talked to Sim. Okay. But Sim just taking the phone from Turk and just like no. No. If he would have asked like, "Hey, what you doing? Nice phone. Can I see it really quick?" That would have been different, but just taking it and grabbing it and like doing what you want with it, that was just wrong, and I did not like that at all. And that just I did not like Sim. I don't really like Turk. I didn't care for the characters much. And that's really what I needed from this. I needed to like the characters and the romance, and I just didn't like it at all. So that kind of soured the book for me, and I ended up giving it 2 stars. And then the other one, this is where I feel like I can be an idiot. But the other one I read was Down on Me by Jay Kenner. This is on NetGalley, just to read, immediately. You didn't have to request it or anything. You could just read it right then and there. And so I did. And I was like, oh, cool. So this is like a read now book, and it's coming out in January in 2020. So, I'll read it. And then I think it was February, it was last week when I read it. And I was like, oh, shoot, I should actually really read that now. I completely forgot about it. And so I started, like, I read it. I finished it. And this one is about, so this is Jay Kenner's Man of the Month series. Yeah, Man of the Month. This is book number 1. This is Mr. January. And we follow Reese and Jenna. It's their romance. But it's like the 3 amigos. We have Reese, Jenna, and Brent, and they were all best friends since childhood, and they've all, they've been doing things together forever. Jenna moved away for a while and is now moving back after something happened with her job, And, what's it called? She's realizing that she has feelings for Reese. She's always had kind of a crush on Reese, but she's realizing it's getting deeper. And Reese has always had a thing for Jenna, and he's not able to control it as much as he would like. So once they realize they both have feelings for each other, obviously there's romance there. Reese and Brent and Jenna have all worked for this bar, or worked in this bar. And Jenna obviously doesn't work there anymore, but Reese is the manager there. And they've just found out that the bar is going under. The owner took out, what was it? It was like a loan he could never pay back. And things have not been going well for the bar. So he has until the end of the month to pay back this note for the bar. And he has no way to do that. So they're all trying to find out ways in order to get the money to pay this back. And Jenna, I guess, is really good with marketing. I can't really remember because it's been like a week or so. But yeah, she comes up with this marketing plan to make a calendar of all like the really hot guys that either work in the bar or I guess are customers or something like that. And she makes a contest of it. And obviously Mr. January, and then the next book, because this is a whole series, it's a 12-book series, and you'll get from January to December. And it'll be this whole calendar thing, and hopefully this will help them get the money in order to pay off the bar. So yeah, after I finished reading it, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I love Jay Kenner. I've always enjoyed her, the writing and the characters, and like a lot of the series. I actually have some over there. I read a lot of Jay Kenner when I can, so that's why I was really excited when I saw this on NetGalley. And so I read it and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, I wonder when the second book's coming out, and that's when I oh man. Oh yeah, okay, you're probably not gonna be able to see this, but yeah, you probably won't be able to see that. So when I was looking it up, I realized that the second book was out, and then I looked and I realized they were all out, and I was just like, they all come out within like days? What's going on? And then I looked, and it was 2018, and this was published. So this is just a thing to read on NetGalley. It says it's been out for years. So I felt like an idiot, but I read it and reviewed it, and I really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars. And I'm definitely going to be continuing on. It follows a different, relationship, a different couple with each one. So I am really excited for it. Alright, so next up, I had to read Lovermind by J.R. Ward. I am so excited for this. Well, I was so excited for this. This is Jex and John Matthews' book, and I just love them so much. So I was like, I have to pick this up immediately, because the minute I put on my TBR, I was like, mine. Have to read it just now. So I did, and I loved it, and I gave it 5 stars. And I love Jex and John Matthew, and I love the fact that you learn more about Jex, and you even get to learn a little bit more about John Matthews' father, Darius, and what happened to that. There's flashbacks to the past and things like that, and there's just so many storylines that sort of connect, and it's just so interesting and so good, and I'm just like, I loved it. I just loved it so much. God, I don't have a favorite. I can't have a favorite, but I love Jex and John Matthew, and I just thought they were perfect for each other. And for them to finally get their book and to finally get their chance, and I'm just like, yes, I love this book so much. I definitely have to pick up the next book, which is a character that has just been kind of unleashed, not unleashed, but a character you've just met within the last couple of books. Her name is Pain, and she's connected to one of the brothers, and it's her relationship with a human doctor, Manny, who you meet him in Vicious's book. So I'm excited to see how that one goes. I actually think it's called Lover Unleashed, which is kind of funny. Okay, but yeah, that one's, of course, 5 stars. Okay, alright. So after that, I picked up Preacher Man by Jessica Cain. I kept telling myself I wasn't going to read another Jessica Cain book, and to be honest, I didn't even know this was in my Kindle. Like, I got it for Kindle Unlimited. I think I got it when I got the other 2. And I just been hearing a lot of things about this, so I was like, I'm, it's a really short read. I swear it's like 50 pages or something like that. Yeah, it's 52 pages. And I was like, look, it was already in my Kindle. Why not just read it and get it out? And to see what really all the hype is about. This is a preacher kink book. Also, this has daddy kink. It's literally about this guy who moves to this town. He's like a criminal, but he's on the run, kind of. He moves to this town, and he becomes their preacher. And it's also about this 18-year-old girl who has a thing for this preacher. Like, she is in lust and in love. Okay. And this preacher is, like, obsessed with this girl as well. And it's just them. And it's... okay. It's a thing. There was this sex scene in this that was... It was like a sexual like exorcism. It was a thing. It was a thing. I've read it. I gave it 2 stars. Moving on. Alright, after that, I was still on my Kindle, and I was like, I wonder what else I have on here. And I remembered I bought Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. And I remember hearing a lot of things about this, because this is this is the Wicked Villains series. And these are all about, like, villains and the heroines together. And this one is Jasmine and Jafar, erotic fiction. And so this is set, I think, in, like, modern day. It's not, it's like a modern retelling. And we have, I think Jasmine's father is like this drug lord or mafia boss, something like that. Or like mob boss or something. And he pretty much controls his section, the sector. And Jafar is his right-hand man. And Jasmine is locked up in her home because her father won't let her leave. And her and Jafar have had this, like, flirtation thing going on for a while now. And when her father decides to sell her to Ali, who is a monster, so the hero of, like, the Disney tale is just a monster. Yeah, it's fine. So he sells her to Ali and is like, you're gonna marry this guy and I don't care what the hell he does to you as long as I get what I want. And Jafar doesn't like that at all, so he ends up killing her father and claiming her as his own. And it just goes from there. It's a lot of, it's got a lot of kinks. There's BDSM, there's the daddy kink. I mean, it's got a lot. And it's good. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave this 4 stars. I never thought I'd like Jasmine and Jafar together, and I don't. Except for this. Like, I really love them in this. I love Jasmine in this. She is so different. And I thought, okay, so for a while there, it was going to be like a 3.5 kind of thing. But towards the end, where Jasmine really comes into her own, it was a 4 star. It was just so good. But yeah, I highly recommend this series, especially since I had to go and pick up the second book, Learn My Lesson. So this one is Meg, Hades, and Hercules. Yep. Man, is that a thing. I love polyamory in books. I have always loved polyamory in books. So finding out that Meg, Hades, and Hercules was going to be a thing, I had to read it. And I did, and I loved it. I think I also gave this one 4 stars. But yeah, Meg is Hades submissive, but she also helps run his underground, the underworld, which is like the sex club. And it's also where a lot of deals are brokered. It's a neutral territory. And Hades decides that he wants Meg to play with Hercules, which Hercules is the son of a rival of Hades. Hercules' father fucked with Hades, and that was not a good move. So he wants to get his revenge by bringing Hercules into this sex club and doing stuff with him, taking pictures and sending it to Daddy and seeing how that goes. But it ends up being where they all just, fall in love, and I loved it, and I give this 4 stars. Oh God. Can you tell I'm hooked when I did not intend that. I swear I did not intend that. But yeah, I was hooked when I had to read the next book, which is A Worthy Opponent. This one just came out, and this is a Hook and Tink romance. Yeah. I didn't intend that, I swear. So yeah, this is Tink and Hook, and it's their romance, and Peter obviously is the villain. And Tink, she's had a deal with Hades for 5 years. Her deal is up. And so now she's on her own. She doesn't know what to do. And Hook proposes marriage to bring them together, but also to bring Peter out of, to bring him out in the open, and so they can, kill him because, well, he's a really bad guy, and he abuses Tink, because Tink used to be his. That was a really roundabout way of saying that. But yeah, it was so good. I think, I want to say this was, no, I think I gave this 4 stars too. Oh, I never rated it. That's funny. 4 stars. Yeah, so I gave all of them 4 stars. I've really enjoyed all of them, and I can't really, I don't want to stop, except for the fact that the 4th book, which is The Beast, which is a Beauty and the Beast one, and it's, it's a Beast and Belle and Gaston, but Gaston is called Gaeton, I think. Something like that. It's Gaeton, and I don't know exactly how to say that, and it's Isabelle and the Beast. So, it's their story, it's their book, and that comes out in May. I pre-ordered it. I can't wait for it. I'm really excited. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was 4 stars too. Okay, the last book I literally just finished. I think I've been reading for like a week, and I haven't really finished one until today. And that was Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This is Twilight, but with werewolves. I had to say it. Okay. Obviously there's werewolves in Twilight, but this is literally just werewolves. There's no vampires that we've seen. Huh. But the family, like the Cullens, are werewolves. They're the Bennets. So, okay. I wouldn't have known that this was a supernatural book if I hadn't heard that before. Which I don't know if it's really a spoiler, and if it is, I am sorry. I don't mean to spoil anybody, but I figured since it is 75% of the book, you should just know off the bat. And you know what? Let me just see. I mean, okay, it says that there's a secret and it goes into like wolves, so I guess you can kind of tell that this is about werewolves, but I don't know. And I'm sorry if I kind of spoil that, but that's the only way I could describe this book well. But we start off with Ox, who's our main character, and he's 12 when his father ends up leaving. He leaves and he tells Ox that he's dumb, he's never going to be smart, and he's always going to get shit, but, he doesn't regret him, and stuff like that. It was really awful, and I don't know. So his father just leaves. Ox has always thought he's dumb then because of what his father said. Um, and it's just him and his mom. Ox ends up going to work with his father's former boss, Gordo, who owns this auto shop. And that's just his life for a few years. He goes to school, he goes to work, he comes home. That's it. And then years later, this family moves back to town. They're the Bennetts. And Ox meets Joe, who is 10 years old, and Joe is just obsessed with Ox. Can't stop, talking to him, can't stop being all over him. It's really cute. Especially when Ox goes to actually meet the family, and the family tells him that Joe hasn't even talked for over a year after he was kidnapped and tortured, pretty much. So Ox is the first person he's ever talked to, or he's talked to since that happened. And that was really special. And then Ox just becomes a part of this family, this pack. And it just goes from there. I will say, for the first 25% of this book, you don't really know that it's a supernatural book until, like, the Bennetts move to town and you start to get hints of their secrets and everything, and obviously. But it's so good. So this was a book that was one of my booktubers' favorite books of 2019. So I was like, all right, I'm going to read it. And it's this 400-page book, and I was addicted to it. Just absolutely addicted. The writing is simplistic, but because it's kind of narrated by Ox, who, speaks slower and really chooses his words and stuff like that, I don't mind the simplistic writing. It can be kind of cheesy at times, and I mean, I understand that. It's just, it was very sweet and very cute and heartwarming and emotional, and I swear, there was one time I was reading it and I was laughing. This one scene was just so funny and so beautiful, and I was just laughing. And then the next second, I'm crying because something just sad. Like, they just went from having this really fun and, great time to just, start getting serious and sad. And it was just beautiful in the way that flowed. And I just really enjoyed it. I mean, towards the end, stuff happens, and it was like, okay, this is getting serious, but it still was always so good and so addictive, and I really enjoyed this. I give it 5 stars. I can see why it's a favorite, and I want the second book, which follows a different couple. I think there's 3 books, and they each follow different couples. That's fine. But I absolutely loved Ox and Joe's relationship. So the thing is that it goes from their friendship, they're best friends, and it starts off when Joe is 10 and Ox is like 16. So it's kind of a bit of an age gap. And it starts off when they're best friends. And yeah, Ox is kind of taken in by this family and treated as one of their own. But it's never really shown that Ox and Joe were like brothers. They never were. Ox was brothers with Joe's brothers, but he never really saw Joe as a brother. And then when Joe gets older and is like 17, then it's clear that Ox, is feeling an attraction for Joe. And, well, Joe, I think, has always had an attraction for Ox. So, I mean, it's just this beautiful relationship that just goes through time, goes through the motions, and I just absolutely, like, it starts off with they're friends when they're really young, and it just goes to when they're older, and it's so good, and I really enjoyed it. 5 stars. Absolutely. And the only other book that I'm reading is Time on Time by Sherilyn Kenyon. I really wanted to pick this up, and I needed a book to read while I was at work, but of course I ended up reading Wolfsong. I wanted to just read that at home or, when I had time, but of course I got addicted. So Time on Time, I'm like I'm 209 pages in. I'm on chapter 13. And this one follows Kateri and Ren. And Ren is actually a character that we meet in Retribution. He's like a main side character in that book. And I didn't even know that it was the same Ren. And once I realized that, I was kind of excited then. I went into this book thinking, okay, this is going to be kind of good. Like, oh yeah. And I started reading and I was like, I don't know who these characters are. I don't know what's going on. But then once I realized I actually do know who Ren is, and Kateri is actually related to Sunshine, and obviously Talon then, who are our main characters from the second book. It was kind of nice to go back and to see all those, and you get Acheron and everyone like that, so it was nice to actually get a lot of our characters. But this is, I think, like a Native American, a take on Native American mythology, I think. Obviously, Shelly Kenyon takes liberties with the Greek, and like I think there's some Egyptian as well woven throughout, and I think Retribution in this one were Native American, and Mayan and stuff like that. So, I mean, it was nice to be able to get back into a different mythology. I know Greek really well, so it was like, okay, I mean, I know those characters, I know those myths, and I know where Shelly Kenyon is, taking those characters and stuff like that, so, like, I get it. And I love it. I love reading those so much. But it was kind of nice to be able to learn a new myth, and, it was really kind of nice to get into a new culture and stuff like that, because I don't know that at all. And it did go a little over my head just because I don't know it and I'm not familiar with it. But I mean, I'm 200 pages in. I read that pretty much a really quick time. The only thing was I got addicted to Wolfsong, so I had to put this down. But I feel like I could definitely finish it over the weekend and hopefully finish something else as well, because I feel like I am just not gonna make it my TBR. So we'll see that. I think next week I might make it a full, like, romance week. Who knows? I might do that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I can't really talk too much about it because, again, like, there's a lot of things that happen throughout the other books that kind of get in here. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say really spoilery, but I mean, and also, like, there's a lot of mythologies I just don't understand about this. So, but I can't say that Kateri is being hunted, because of who her family is, okay? And, she has been having these visions of this guy, and this guy is Ren. So, but she sees visions of his past. And Ren, I want to say he's reincarnated. Yeah, he came back. Well, he came back from the dead. He's not reincarnated. He's a Dark Hunter. And he came back from the dead to help prevent a devastating prophecy from coming true. So he has to protect Kateri from, before that can actually happen. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I'm reading this, and this is all I'm reading for now, because I just finished Wolfsong this morning. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was just all over the place, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again with another. Happy reading.